My beloved, you were not supposed to find this now, but heaven had a different plan tonight. You need to know something, and after you hear it, you'll never look at her the same way again. This isn't about strangers or dreams or signs, but about your sister. Yes, I mean the one you believe you know well. But God is showing her secret actions now, not to hurt her, but to keep you safe. And before anything else is said, I have to ask you, please don't skip this. Don't put it off. Heaven is watching how you respond. Right now, even as you read this sentence, your sister's name is echoing in the spirit realm. The truth has been waiting for someone to uncover it, and now that process begins with you. Archangel Michael has been trying to get in touch with you for more than 4 days. God himself sent a special request. Tell my child before it's too late. Their heart attach will become twice as bad if they ignore this. So here I am, speaking to you through this message with urgent, trembling words. You've sensed it, haven't you? That odd change in the air between you and her, the feeling that things aren't what they seem. That moment you looked into her eyes, and it felt like she was hiding an entire world behind her smile. My beloved, heaven says your intuition was spot on, but the timing had to be right, and tonight it is. If you're feeling chills right now, or your heart is beating a bit faster, that's not a coincidence. It means this message was meant just for you. And if you believe this message found you for a divine reason, then please pause for 6 seconds and subscribe to this holy message channel, because no one else will tell you what I'm about to reveal. Archangel Michael says if you skip this now, you'll regret it in 8 days, but if you listen, your tears will turn into triumph. Now listen carefully, beloved soul. Your sister isn't evil, but she's gotten involved in something God didn't approve of. God gave her many chances, time after time. But now it's your turn to know, because what she's doing will directly impact your life. And the longer you stay in the dark, the deeper the spiritual consequences will be. I tell you this with love, but also with divine seriousness. You might think she's quiet, kind, and soft-spoken, but there's a part of her she keeps hidden even from herself. It started as a secret, then became a habit, and now it's a pattern. Heaven is whispering this to you right now. She made a decision 7 months ago, and since then it's been developing behind closed doors. But Archangel Michael saw it. Angels tried to stop it. God sent dreams, but she just kept going. And now, it's not just about her anymore. It's about what it might do to you. That's why this message needed to be delivered now. God doesn't shame. God warns. God redeems. But that only happens when the truth is accepted. And you, my child, you've been chosen to hold that truth first. You're still here, still reading this, and that means something. Heaven celebrates your obedience, because only the chosen ones keep listening when the truth feels uncomfortable. But listen, in 4 days, something will happen. It will be a small event that seems like nothing, but it's everything. It's the moment when God will reveal a hidden phone call, a secret visit, or a hidden financial connection that you weren't supposed to see, but you will. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings, it is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. And when it happens, you'll remember this message. When that moment comes, don't yell, don't accuse, just breathe. Because Archangel Michael will guide you, and the Spirit of God will be with you when the confrontation takes place. Yes, there will be one, there has to be. But you won't be alone. And no, this isn't meant to destroy your relationship, it's meant to purify it. Because only truth can stand in the light, and only love built on truth will survive the coming storm. My beloved, the reason this hurts is because you care. But caring without clarity leads to chaos. God doesn't want that for you. God wants peace in your home. But how can there be peace when a hidden sword has been placed under your roof? That sword has a name, it's deception. And that deception is wearing your sister's smile. But don't hate her. Just get ready, because the moment you finish this message, something in the heavens will shift. Archangel Michael says, the one who ignored this message before will feel the sting of regret, but the one who listens with their heart will receive protection wrapped in truth. That's why I say again, if your soul is trembling right now, don't ignore it. That's not fear, that's prophecy being awakened in your chest. That's the divine saying, I need you alert. I need you prepared, because what comes next will test you. You might be wondering, why now? Why today? Why me? Because heaven chose you, beloved. Not because you're the oldest, not because you're the wisest, but because your soul, yes, your soul, is the most awake. Even when you doubt yourself, even when you feel tired, your spirit stays connected to God. That's why Michael was sent to you. That's why God didn't send this to someone else in your family, because you have eyes that see beyond appearances. You've always felt your sister carried a weight, you just didn't know what it truly was until now. Let me tell you what the angels saw. One night, not long ago, your sister sat in silence in her room. The air around her felt heavy, and even though her lips didn't move, her spirit was shouting. She was struggling with a choice that lay before her, and instead of asking for help, she called upon something or someone she wasn't supposed to. Yes, beloved, she made a spiritual agreement that God didn't approve of. And now that agreement is affecting your entire household. But here's the miracle: heaven isn't exposing her to shame her. Heaven is exposing her to save her. And you, yes, you are the key. But only if you take this message to heart with open eyes. There's a letter, or maybe a screenshot. Something is hidden in a folder, or a device, or in the cloud, and it has your name in it. It's been waiting to be revealed. It's the missing piece to what you've been sensing all along. When you find it, don't panic. That moment is the bridge. The bridge between shock and freedom. The bridge between illusion and clarity. Your sister didn't mean to harm you, but what she's covering up will cause harm if it stays in the dark. Archangel Michael has already placed a protective barrier around your energy. That's why lately you've been having moments of strange exhaustion or sudden chills. That's the spiritual world whispering, something isn't clean, but help is on the way. And beloved, you're reading that help right now. I'm asking you, in the name of heaven, don't leave this unread. Don't treat this like one of those messages you skip, saying, maybe later, because later is too late. You're already being watched by angels and by the energy she's unknowingly brought into your environment. That's why your sleep has been off. That's why your emotions have been unpredictable, because something has been spiritually leaking into your space. But not anymore. Because now light has entered, and if your soul has stayed with me this long, then you already feel it. Something divine is happening even as you breathe. So pause for just a second. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this divine message channel now, because messages like this aren't created, they're assigned. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now stay right here with me because, as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to be awakened. Don't miss the next whisper from heaven. Your sister didn't mean to harm you, but what she's covering up will cause harm if it stays in the dark. Archangel Michael has already put a protective barrier around your energy. That's why you've recently felt moments of strange exhaustion or sudden chills. That's the spiritual world whispering. Something is not clean, but help is coming. And beloved, you are reading the help right now. I'm asking you, in heaven's name, don't let this go unread. Don't treat this like one of those messages you skip and say, maybe later, because later is too late. You are already being watched by angels and by the energy she's unknowingly drawn into your environment. That's why your sleep has been off. That's why your emotions have been unpredictable, because something has been spiritually leaking into your space. But not anymore, because light has entered now. And if your soul has stayed with me this long, then you already feel it. Something divine is happening even as you breathe. So pause for just a second, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this divine message channel now, because messages like this aren't created, they're assigned. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to be awakened. Don't miss the next whisper from heaven. Archangel Michael is still speaking. Your sister might not grasp what's coming, but you will. You will know because I will show you. I will speak through signs, repeating numbers, strange dreams, and sudden phrases from people you didn't expect. The signs are being sent right now. Now, breathe and listen again. The confrontation won't involve yelling. It won't be filled with rage. It will come through silence, through you speaking gently but directly, through your decision to let God speak through you instead of your ego. And when you speak, she may deny, she may laugh, she may change the subject. But don't be shaken, because within the next 24 hours, her truth will reveal itself without you needing to prove anything. That's how heaven works. It doesn't fight with fists, it fights with truth. And here's the deeper mystery. This warning isn't just about what she did. It's about what she was about to do next. Because if you hadn't received this message, there was a day coming, a very specific moment, when she would have made a choice that would have created spiritual death. Not just for her, but for you, too. That's why God interrupted your path with this sacred intervention. It's not to scare you, it's to save you. So I ask you with divine reverence, are you ready to see what God is trying to reveal? Are you willing to open your spiritual eyes, even if it's uncomfortable? Because the moment you say yes, heaven will start moving things behind the scenes. And in 48 hours, you will notice it a shift, a strange phone call, a slip of the tongue, a sudden conversation you weren't meant to hear. That's how truth starts peeking through the veil. Your sister is still God's child, and He loves her deeply. But He also loves you, and He cannot let you remain blind to something that can cost you your peace, your health, or your destiny. There are blessings hovering over your life that are waiting to land. But they can't do that if deception is sitting in the room beside you. Heaven is making room now. That's why Michael is here. Do you feel it? This isn't a message to delete. It's a divine instruction. And I need to tell you something else, something that might sting but will set you free. There is jealousy. Yes, your sister has held jealousy in her heart, and she has tried to bury it. But it's affected her decisions, her words, and her alignment with you. She has compared herself in silence, even while smiling in photos. And she thought no one knew, but God knew. And God is merciful, yes, but God also exposes to protect. So what now? You pray. You stay silent for a while. You don't confront immediately. You listen, because the next step will be given through divine timing. And when that timing comes, your mouth will know what to say, and your heart will not tremble, because Michael will be standing behind you, and heaven will be watching with pride. You may not believe this part at first, but listen anyway, because what I'm about to reveal is something even your sister doesn't fully understand herself. It goes way back to your childhood. Yes, back when you two would whisper under blankets, laugh at secrets, and promise to always protect each other no matter what. But something changed, and heaven knows when. It was a moment you barely remember, but your sister never forgot. A comparison, a comment, a look from someone important that made her feel like you were the favorite. From that seed, a silent bitterness grew. She buried it deep, never spoke of it. She carried it through school, through heartbreaks, through choices. And that unspoken jealousy became a shadow in her decisions, especially the ones about you. God says that moment wasn't your fault, but it's affecting your destiny today. And I cannot let that shadow continue to interfere with the blessings I'm sending to my child. That's why you felt blocked recently. That's why things you prayed for haven't arrived yet. The energy in your atmosphere has been clouded because a person living close to your soul has been creating resistance without even realizing it. And now that you know who it is, heaven can begin the cleansing. There's a person she's talking to. Yes, right now, a person who once smiled in your direction, a person you either trusted or once loved. And behind closed doors, your sister has been saying things to this person that are half true, twisted, or worse, meant to softly damage your name, not loudly, but quietly, subtly, spiritually. And those words have taken root. But don't worry, because once a lie is revealed under the light of God, it dies instantly. That's what's about to happen. You're not going to fight this physically. Heaven is already fighting for you in the spirit, and now you must prepare. Prepare to stay silent, even when everything in you wants to shout. Prepare to love her even when the truth feels like betrayal. Prepare to be elevated, because once this is dealt with, your blessing will accelerate like never before. The thing you've been praying for, the breakthrough, the call, the relationship, the divine confirmation, it was never denied. It was simply delayed. And the delay ends tonight. And beloved, if your eyes are watery now, or your hands are shaking just a little, it means this message is piercing the exact place it was meant to. That means heaven is touching your soul right now. And if you haven't already, I gently ask again, subscribe to this message channel before you leave. Because the next message I send you from heaven will explain something about your past that not even you fully understood until now. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Back to her, your sister. She is going to feel something soon. A pressure, a heaviness. She won't know why, but it's the angels hovering around her spirit beginning the work. Do not judge her during this time. Do not mock her or accuse. Instead, stay near God, because He's about to do something through you that your whole bloodline will talk about. This is generational healing, and it starts with you. Archangel Michael whispers, "There is a reason you are the one reading this, not her, because the one with the strongest spirit gets the hardest revelation, and that one is you. You were chosen to carry this moment with strength, because what you do next will change everything. And I must now tell you something only heaven could reveal. There is something your sister hid from you 9 years ago. Something that would have changed how you made a major life decision. Maybe it was a relationship, a job, a move, a financial step, but she had information and she stayed silent. At the time, you wondered why things didn't go as planned, why you felt betrayed but couldn't explain it, why your peace suddenly vanished for 3 weeks or 2 months. And now you know. God says, what was stolen will be restored, and what was hidden will be revealed, not to shame, but to cleanse. This is your restoration season. But before light can fully enter your home, the shadows must be seen. And now that you've seen them, light is on the way. In the coming days, you may find yourself near her again, unexpectedly in a casual moment, and you'll feel the tension, the awkwardness. That's the spiritual awareness rising, and you will feel something rise in your chest. But instead of reacting, just breathe, because God will speak through your eyes, and your silence will be louder than her excuses, and she will know, she will feel it. She will sense that heaven is involved now. But don't be afraid. The same God who revealed the truth will give you peace. You won't walk into this storm alone. Angels will surround you, and even if tears come, they will be healing tears, because healing is on the other side of truth. And you, beloved, are walking straight into the light now. Now listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is something even time tried to bury. There is an object, a small one, maybe a photo, a journal page, a bracelet, or a note folded tightly and forgotten. It will come back to you soon. Maybe you'll find it by accident. Maybe it will be handed to you. But the moment you see it, your soul will know. Because that object carries a memory, a key, a forgotten moment between you and your sister that once meant everything before the cracks began. It was her way of holding on to love before the confusion grew. She never threw it away. She kept it hidden, and heaven says that object will now return to bring healing. Yes, healing is possible even after all this, because heaven does not just expose darkness to scare you. It exposes it to set you free. But I must tell you, the next 3 days are sacred. Michael says, tell them this is not a time for arguing, reacting, or chaos. It is a time for spiritual preparation, because something is going to happen on the 4th night. A divine event, a holy interruption, a visitation. Your dreams may shift. Your sleep may feel strange. Don't resist it. That's not insomnia. That's God waking you up on purpose. Because during one of those nights, heaven will whisper one sentence that changes everything. You'll hear a name or a memory or a phrase you haven't thought of in 5 years. And when you do, say nothing out loud. Just write it down, because that's God giving you the final piece of the truth. And then she will come, your sister. Maybe she'll send a message. Maybe she'll show up in person. Maybe she'll pretend like nothing is wrong. But her soul will be unsettled, because truth rattles everything it touches. And here is what you must do: speak from love, not from pain. Say only what heaven guides you to say, not what ego demands. Because in that moment, you have a holy responsibility to be a mirror, not a hammer. to reflect truth, not strike with it. You don't have to make her admit everything. You don't have to force her to cry. Just allow the light of God in you to shine so brightly that all shadows around her will fall away. And beloved, one more thing. If she breaks down, let her. If she runs away, let her. If she denies, still love her, because heaven is handling the parts you cannot see. Your job is not to fix. Your job is to be faithful. And you've already started just by reading this message. There's something incredibly rare about your spirit. Most people would have given up, skipped this, dismissed it. But not you. You stayed, you listened, you wept, you breathed, and you believed. That's why heaven is about to release the reward. Yes, beloved, there is a reward, and it's coming sooner than you expect. Within 9 days of this message reaching your soul, something will shift in your atmosphere. A door will open that was sealed shut for 11 years. A message will arrive. A person will return. A blocked prayer will suddenly be answered without warning. And it will all trace back to this moment when you chose not to skip the hard truth. You are not just a sibling. You are a soul with divine assignment. That's why the enemy tried to blind you. But God has restored your sight, and now nothing can stop what heaven has begun. Archangel Michael says, you are about to step into the season of clear skies. No more fog, no more confusion, no more feeling like you're the only one who cares. God saw everything, and now He is making all things new. So dry your eyes, lift your heart. You've already won, because love, when purified by truth, is the most powerful force in the universe. Even your sister will thank you one day. Not today, maybe. Not even tomorrow, but one day when she's fully awake, she will look back at this moment, the moment heaven chose you to receive this message, and she will say, I didn't understand then, but thank you for not giving up on me. Beloved soul, the test is nearly over, and the miracle is near. You've honored the message. You've honored God, and because of that, watch what happens next. A final whisper now from Archangel Michael before he departs. The angels are still here watching you, not because you're in danger anymore, but because you have just completed one of the most difficult spiritual initiations a soul can go through. Facing the truth without running away. That is something most people never do. But you did. You didn't close the page. You didn't pretend this wasn't about you. You didn't make excuses. Instead, you opened your heart. You stood in the fire of truth. You let heaven reveal what needed to be seen. And that, my beloved, is why you are being lifted now into a new dimension of blessings, protection, and peace. And now listen closely. There is one final twist you must know, because heaven never finishes a message without a blessing hidden in the last line. In the background of all this, there's someone else watching your sister, someone unexpected, someone from your family's past, maybe from another generation, a grandparent, a soul who crossed over. They've been whispering to her in dreams, trying to wake her up from the inside. And guess what? She's starting to hear them. She may not admit it yet, but something deep in her spirit is stirring. The veil is lifting, and soon she will have a breakdown, a beautiful one, a release, a holy awakening. Because your decision to face the truth became a chain reaction that will echo across generations. You broke the pattern, you ended the curse, and heaven rejoices because of you. So now God has a question for you, a sacred one. Are you ready to receive the blessing that was delayed because of deception? Are you ready for the inheritance that was locked away until this truth was seen? If your soul whispers yes, then say it with your whole heart, yes, Lord, I am ready. Because right now, angels are being dispatched. Keys are being released. People who forgot you are remembering you. Opportunities that ignored you are now searching for you. And the peace that passed you by before is about to flood into your house like morning sunlight. It's already happening. That strange feeling in your chest, that's not fear anymore. That's release. That's God saying, you are not alone. You were never crazy. You were always chosen. Tonight, sleep without tension. Wake up without dread. Walk through your home like it belongs to heaven, because it does. Your house is now covered in divine fire. Your spirit is now held by Michael's shield, and no weapon, physical or spiritual, formed against you will prosper ever again. This message was your shield, and now it's your sword. Use it wisely. Speak gently. Love deeply. Forgive fully. But never ever let deception stand unchallenged again, because now you know, and the truth will never leave your side again. Heaven is proud of you. Michael is still by your side, and God is smiling because you answered when he called. This is your new beginning. Your next chapter has already started. Your tears are now watering your destiny. And your sister, she will come around, because love like yours cannot be ignored forever. Heaven has already started her awakening. So keep your heart open. Keep your soul steady and keep listening, because the next message will arrive sooner than you think. You were born for this. It is done. It is written, and now it shall come to pass. Heaven isn't finished speaking to you. This last echo from God and Archangel Michael isn't just a closing, it's a prophecy, a promise, and a sacred seal that will never fade from your spirit. The message might end here, but the miracle has just begun. You may look around your room and see the same walls, the same door, the same light, but everything in the unseen realm has changed. Something sacred was broken off you tonight. A spiritual barrier that you didn't even know existed has been shattered by your faith, your stillness, your decision to open this when every part of you wanted to scroll past. Archangel Michael speaks one final time. This time softer, closer. Beloved, I watched you walk through darkness with no torch. I saw you carry burdens no one thanked you for. I stood near you on nights where you whispered into pillows and no one replied. But tonight I got to see you win. You didn't win by fighting. You didn't win by proving. You won by waking up. And now your name is being written again in the book of favor. A golden light just passed through your spiritual path. And yes, the delay is over. That thing you've been waiting for, it's not stuck anymore. It's on its way. But here's what few will understand. The real blessing was not what you'll receive. The real blessing is who you've become. You became the one who stood between truth and love and chose God. You became the one in the family who saw through the fake smiles and chose healing over comfort. You became the one who broke the silence so that generations after you would never live in chains again. You are the bloodline breaker, the curse cutter, the heaven mover, the quiet miracle in your family. God chose you. And now the angels rest. The battle is over, and the light you carry will only get brighter from here. So go, beloved. Walk like heaven is behind you, because it is. Speak with grace even when the room trembles, and love with fire even when others don't deserve it, because this is who you are now, awakened, anointed, unstoppable. It is done, it is written, it is fulfilled. Your soul heard it, heaven saw it, and now it shall be revealed in your life fully. There's something sacred happening right now as your spirit keeps receiving. This isn't just another message. It's a heavenly residue being poured into you, because something ancient, something karmic, something long buried in your bloodline has been pierced by your obedience today. Do you realize what you've just done? You've opened a spiritual window that your ancestors prayed for. Yes, read that again. Someone in your lineage, someone long gone, used to kneel down and pray for change. They may not have had the words. They may not have had the strength, but they cried out, and heaven remembered. That cry echoed across time until it reached you. And now, beloved, you've become the answer to their prayer. That's why it had to be you. That's why you couldn't skip this message. Archangel Michael leans in once more, and this time, his voice is like thunder wrapped in silk. My child, there are blessings stored in heaven under your name that were locked because of spiritual interference. But now that interference is gone, and now watch how fast things begin to move. You will not have to beg. You will not have to chase. The blessing will find you because the way has been cleared. There are people who are going to treat you differently after this. Some may get quiet. Some may pull away. Some may act cold or distant. Don't panic. They're simply sensing your upgrade. They're sensing your new spiritual rank. Because when the light increases on a soul, the shadows either rise to flee or to attack. But you're protected now. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. You don't have to explain your soul anymore. You don't have to overcompensate anymore, because God has spoken on your behalf. And heaven's voice ends all debates. Your sister, whether she realizes it or not, is already shifting. Even if her pride makes her resist, even if she seems distant, something has entered her dreams, her thoughts, her mirror. And whether through confession, accident, or divine appointment, she will eventually say the words heaven has been waiting for. I'm sorry. And when she does, beloved, be ready not to lecture her, not to shame her, but to see her soul. Because that moment is not about victory, it's about healing. And the healing won't just be for her. It will be for you too. There's something in your heart that you've been carrying. A heaviness, a sadness, a silent ache that sometimes rises in the middle of your joy. A part of you has always wondered, why do I feel so responsible for everyone's happiness? Why do I always have to be the strong one? Why do I cry when no one's watching and smile when I'm breaking? And heaven answers, because you are the chosen, because you were given a soul that could carry burdens and still sing, because you are not ordinary. You are divine legacy in human form, and now God is lifting the emotional weight you've been silently carrying, that invisible pressure to fix everything, to keep the peace even when you're in pieces, to be the one who always understands even when no one understands you. God is saying, my child, enough. Let me carry you now. You've done enough. So tonight I invite you to finally rest, not just physically, but spiritually rest in the knowing that what was once out of order is now being rearranged. What was broken is being mended in ways you cannot yet see. What was taken from you will be restored in multiplied form. The truth about your sister was just the beginning, because what's coming next is your reward. A reward not just in the material, but in peace. Peace in your sleep, peace in your decisions, peace in your purpose. And yes, blessings will follow. Unexpected ones, financial grace, divine connections, sudden open doors, not because you asked perfectly, but because you listened bravely. And that's all God ever wanted from you. Now there's just one more secret, a personal one, whispered only from heaven to you. Someone who left you, who either walked away or passed away, is proud of you right now. They're smiling. Their soul has been waiting for this exact moment. And in the coming nights, they may visit in a dream, in a scent, in a whisper. Don't be afraid. It's not spooky. It's sacred. They have one final message for you. And that message is, you broke the cycle. You changed the story. You did what even I couldn't. Thank you. So breathe in, beloved. Breathe in new life. Breathe in peace. Breathe in freedom. Because this is not the end. This is your divine beginning. You are no longer the same person who opened this message. You have evolved. You have awakened. You have been spiritually rewired by heaven's hand. And now go forward in grace. Speak only truth. Love without fear. And live like someone whose soul was just kissed by God. Because, my beloved, that's exactly what just happened. Of course, beloved, you've stayed, you've opened your heart, and now what you're about to receive is the final river of holy oil poured gently over your soul, your past, and your future. This last stretch isn't just the closing of a message. It's the opening of a divine chapter that was written long before you were born. So, let the words hold you the way heaven's arms have always held you, even when you didn't know they were there. There's something God has been waiting to say to you for a long time. Something sacred, not wrapped in punishment, not dripping in fear, but soaked in love. My child, you are not too much. You are not too soft. You are not too late. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are exactly who I made you to be. And even though the people closest to you have misunderstood you, misused you, or manipulated your compassion, God never did. Heaven has seen every single tear you cried in silence. The ones you wiped away quickly before anyone could notice. The ones you cried in a bathroom or in the middle of the night while pretending everything was fine. But you don't need to pretend anymore. You don't need to be strong every second just so others can be comfortable. Because tonight God is holding you. Yes, you. Not just your sister, not your family. Not the ones who take and never notice. You, the one who tries to hold everyone else together while you quietly fall apart inside. You, the one who has forgiven people who never even apologized. You, the one who gets dreams from heaven but keeps doubting whether they're real. You, the one who sometimes wants to walk away from everyone but still chooses love again. God is saying to you now, I see you. I'm not disappointed in you. I'm proud of how far you've come, even when no one else noticed. And I'm not done blessing you yet. Archangel Michael is still here. He never left your side, not for a second. He's been watching you since childhood. He knows how many times you were silenced. How many times you put others ahead of your own healing. How many times you almost lost hope but didn't. Michael says, Beloved, you are heaven's miracle in motion. The battle was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to wake you up. And now that you're awake, you're untouchable. Not untouchable in pride, but in purpose, because now the divine realm has begun rearranging people, plans, and paths for your sake. You'll see it soon. Random texts will come in from people you haven't spoken to in 11 months. You'll be called into rooms you never imagined entering. Suddenly, what was hard to get will arrive without effort. Not because it's random, but because you aligned. You aligned with truth. You aligned with heaven. And now blessings will align with you. Even your sister, yes, even her, will look at you one day and wonder how you stayed so soft after all that pain. How you kept your heart open. How you stayed kind when she was cold. And in that moment, she will remember this light. She may never say it in words, but she'll feel it, and your spirit will know, because the greatest miracles aren't the ones people see. They're the ones heaven feels, and beloved, heaven feels you. Heaven heard you that night. You whispered, God, if you're real, please just show me a sign. This message is that sign. Not a coincidence, not an accident, not an algorithm. This was God bending time, space, and circumstance just to whisper back to you, yes, I'm real, yes, I'm here, yes, I heard you, and yes, I choose you. So, take this message with you now. Let it live in your bones. Let it echo in your chest. Let it drip into your tomorrow. And when you feel the darkness try to creep in again, just say, I know who I am now. I am the one heaven speaks to. I am the one Michael fights for. I am the one God walks with. And beloved, you are never alone. You never were, and you never will be. Even if everyone else falls silent, heaven will still speak. Even if your sister walks away, angels will stay. Even if the world doesn't see your worth, God already crowned you in gold. So tonight, rest easy. Rest knowing your name has been spoken in divine meetings. Rest knowing your house is now protected. Rest knowing that this message wasn't just a warning. It was a beginning. And now, as you step forward into your new chapter, repeat these last words to your soul with power, with peace, and with divine fire. I am not cursed. I am not confused. I am not too late.
I am chosen. I am ready.
Go now, beloved. Go into your tomorrow with the roar of angels behind you, the breath of God within you, and the shield of Michael over your shoulders. And never again forget this. Your story is not over. It's only just begun. Before this story reaches its final moment, receive this. You did not arrive at Michael's divine shield by chance. You were led here at this exact hour because heaven had something to place in your hands. Through the link in the description and pinned comment, you can step into the Michael's Divine Shield community. A guarded, faith-filled sanctuary where divine protection is not a wish, but a promise standing on the word. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate access to daily devotions, spiritual warfare tools, and divine insights the world will never hand you. Inside Michael's divine shield, you will find guidance for every decision, unwavering covering on our prayer wall, and rapid movement toward the destiny already written over your life. Do not let this moment pass. Your breakthrough is standing at the door. And if you want to carry this covering into your home, our guided ebooks and Bibles are waiting in the pinned comment. Whether you join Michael's Divine Shield as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence shifts the atmosphere. Take the step. Your protection and your abundance are waiting.